When I first became CEO in 2011, I wanted to tackle the company purpose at that point. The why are we doing what we're doing, and what is our higher order purpose for our work? And the leadership team said, no, Denise, we need to figure out what we're going to do in terms of strategy and how we're going to get it done in terms of execution before we tackle the higher order why. And that was the right thing to do. And we focused on making sure that we had a strategy that would propel the company going forward, given all the changes and volatility in the world. Purpose is something that you carry in your hearts. It's not something an agency makes up. So what we did was we pulled the purpose out of people's hearts, and it manifested itself in 7 words: real food that matters for life's moments. We're not all the way there yet, but we are on the road to getting there. So it's aspirational, it's also inspirational in terms of the motivation it's bringing to our people. And I say it's perspirational because there's a lot of different kind of work now that we have to do to live into that purpose. The seismic shifts are really about the changing demographics in the world and the change in the family composition. There's also a major shift to health and well-being, which we believe is being manifested in fresh food and organic food. Digital shift, the way we communicate and the way we connect with consumers and the way we connect with each other. Changing communication, it's profound. It also is affecting e-commerce and the way our retailers are connecting with their customers. And then finally, the shift to what I call global economic realignment, which is a burgeoning middle class in the emerging markets and a shrinking middle class in the developed markets, including the United States. And so taking all of these shifts into account, our purpose becomes an anchor in a sea of change. But it also is inspiring us in terms of making decisions about acquisitions that we make, strategies that we pursue, and capital allocation and talent that we resource to do the things that will help us strengthen our core business while we expand into faster growing spaces. The cultural impact of making acquisitions is profound, and I like to step back and think of Campbell's as the biggest small company. And so a lot of these companies that we have acquired, we've kept the talent, and what we've captured there is an entrepreneurial spirit. Ironically, what Campbell's brings to those acquisitions is the ability to scale. And that's tricky because you don't want to crush their spirit. You want to embrace their spirit, but you also want to bring the things to those companies that enable you to get the great food that they make into more places at a lower cost. So we say making real food more accessible and affordable to more people. And that becomes a great equation. We recently reorganized the company into 3 divisions, set up by category first and by geography. Those divisions are America's Simple Meals and Beverage, Global Biscuits and Snacks, and Campbell Fresh. In setting up those divisions, what we really learned was the importance of what needs to be differentiated to the consumer and the customer, and what work could be done across divisions and be shared. And in that sharing, we created an integrated global services. We bought the Kelsen company, which gave us a foothold in China because 40% of Kelsen's sales is in China. And it is a platform in which we can build in that marketplace, and we know that that emerging market is going to be a very important part of the world to participate in. Even though they're going through some slow growths today, we expect that over the long haul, they will be a meaningful market in the world for us to be in. In addition to buying the Bolthouse Farms and the Garden Fresh Gourmet and Kelsen, we also made an investment and bought Plum Organic Baby Food. And Plum Organic Baby Food gives us a window into millennial parents and an understanding of how to improve the way children are eating and making healthier selections at a very young age. And we have evidence of children eating kale and licking their chops. And so being able to train the taste buds of the next generation is something that is very meaningful to us and also very much aligned with our company purpose. 4 years ago, we saw the seismic shift in terms of demographic change, where you have 80 million baby boomers and then another 80 million millennials as a cohort. And we really didn't understand them. The baby boomers grew up with Campbell's, but their children shop differently, eat differently, connect differently, and socialize differently. So in order to understand them, we sent a team of people out, and they lived with them, they cooked with them, they ate with them, they went to pop-up bars with them, and they had so much fun. It was hard to get them to come back to work. But we really did an immersion, and that has really influenced not only the food that we've been making and the innovation that is in our pipeline, but also looking at millennials as employees and the future generation of workers for our workforce. The other thing that I've done is I have a Camp Campbell, where I spend a lot of personal time engaging with millennials in conversation. I did it as a give back for leadership and mentoring and coaching, but what I'm getting back from them is really their opinions and their influence on food. And so it's been a very nice exchange. And the other thing that I'm noting is it's resurrected the art of conversation, because we're in a world of texting. And just being able to engage millennials in conversation has been really worthwhile, I believe, for me and also for them.